What it do, YouTube? This is the J-Rex speaking. Okay, I wanted to do a YouTube video on monogamy, and I don't know, I just wanted to do this video on monogamy because I don't know, I just recently like lost contact with a girl, and there was a reason why she broke up contact with me. It was because of my philosophies, my ideals, and yeah, so I just wanted to, that was my inspiration for me to really do this video. Also because of the numerous girls that are friends that I had who I lost contact with because of this philosophy. But I'm gonna talk about it. But yeah, monogamy, which is being committed to only one lover. I think monogamy doesn't work. Oh man. Now I know a lot of people are going to disagree with me on what I said, but I mean, I understand, because I mean, these people have been brought up their whole lives to think monogamy was the only way to go. I mean, so that's all they know. So of course they're going to only support this philosophy. But I mean, you know, you got to open your mind up to question what you've been brought up to believe. But yeah, monogamy doesn't work. And I mean, I got this article here to prove it. Now if I have the ability to do it, I will put this article on the video while I'm talking about it, once I figure out how to do that properly without glitching up the video. But okay, I looked it up, and okay, Cosmo recently polled over 1,400 women on why their past relationships ended. Okay. Now this is the flaw of monogamy. An astounding 36.6% said that they broke up with their man because he cheated. 36.6%. That is terrible. And there's another one that we could link, which we could link to monogamy, which was 21.1% of them said this, and they said, "I missed being single and dating around." So those are the ones that I could, you know, like confidently say that those breakups were due to monogamous reasons, the failures, the problems of monogamy. So yeah, that's about, if you add those two together, that's about 57% roughly. So that's more than half. So we have a higher than half failure rate. So because of the problems of monogamy. The other ones are, we fell out of love. Yeah, I could say something for that. Fell out of love. Lied about something, couldn't trust him again. That possibly could be linked to cheating. He could have lied about cheating. So that could have been that too. Wasn't very ambitious when it came to his career. That was another one, but okay. But I think polyamory is the way to go. I think polyamory is the way to go. Is, like I said, I mean, look at that. More than half of these relationships failed due to the inadequacies of monogamy. But yeah, monogamy in the first place, I think, is unrealistic. I mean, really, like I said, there are 6 billion people in this world. What are the chances that you are... First of all, monogamy... One person. So supposedly with monogamy, you find one person, you fall in love with that person, and then you know that you found your true love, and then you stay together till death do you part. But hold on, first of all, to begin with, one person is your true love. One person out of, like, what, 6 billion? That is very, very unlikely. That is less than 1%. That's like fucking 0.0000001% chance. So that alone is unrealistic. So we can't expect one person to only find one true love in his life. That's just too unlikely. I mean, there's no way, you know, what, about half of marriages don't end in divorce? So there's no way that half of the marriages that succeeded were due to them finding that one true love out of 6 billion people. No, that's just unrealistic. So I find it highly unlikely. Chances are there were maybe 20 potential mates that they were attracted to, and they had to choose one, and they chose that one person, and then chances are they likely developed a censor in their head to block them off from developing relationships with other women or men. But my biggest problem with monogamy is that monogamy allows people's deepest insecurities, deepest personal issues, deepest, negative emotions to take a hold and manifest itself and cause the person to do horrible things. When I say that, I mean it can cause a person to become... Monogamy causes people to be jealous and manifest themselves in their jealousy by being hostile towards the person that is making them jealous. It causes them to be hostile, make threats, just be very, very, just, how can I say, crude, and just doing antisocial things, fighting, threatening, insulting, or whatever, any negative social aspects, and just, it allows people to just fully manifest in that negativity and hostility and lash it out on other people. I mean, monogamy allows people to do that, and it encourages it too. I mean, it encourages it because it's like, oh yeah, he's a dirty cheater and he deserved it. So, but monogamy, it's just so unrealistic. Like I said, I mean, why do we only have to be with one person? Why do we only have to have one lover? Why can't it be multiple lovers? Why are we only with one lover? And it just doesn't make sense to me now that I think about it. People who developed long, committed, loving relationships with people they truly cared about suddenly ended the relationship just because the person had feelings for another person and tried to build something with that other person. I'm just first of all, why should it be such a problem to them that this person is building a relationship with another person? Why should they have so much of a problem with it? You don't have a problem when this person goes out and hangs out with his friends. I hope not. You don't have a problem when he goes out and spends time with his, family. I hope not. Why is it suddenly that when this person is spending time with another lover, all of a sudden it's the biggest problem in the world? And it just doesn't make sense. And I've lost friendships with, I don't think I've ever been able to develop a close relationship with a woman, because usually what happens is the woman ends up finding a boyfriend, and she ends up breaking off contact with all other men to prevent herself from cheating. So I don't think I've ever been able to form a close bond with a woman. Like, sooner or later, the aspects of monogamy kick in, and she ends up breaking off contact with me to sustain a monogamous relationship. And to me, that sounds really cruel. It sounds socially cruel to make somebody do that, to force somebody in a position where they have to break off contact with their friends in order to maintain a relationship. That sounds, I don't know, it sounds just toxic, that kind of relationship. The fact that they're so worried to the point, by the friendship that they have is so threatening that they're forced to break off contact with other people they care about. Like, that's so crude. Why should they be forced to be put into a position where they have to do that? Break off contact with other people they care about. And also, like I said, people, they develop friendships with multiple people in their life. They develop friendships with multiple people, and yeah. But like, if that person finds another friend in their life and starts spending time with that friend, does the other friend start getting jealous and start making threats and start being like, you better stop seeing those other friends of yours, and if you keep doing it, I'm gonna stop talking to you. I won't be your friend anymore. Like, can you imagine how crude that would sound if your friends did the same thing? What about your family? Okay, say your mom has another daughter or son, and she's spending time with the other daughter or son. Are you gonna let your jealousy manifest itself so much to the point where you start making threats to your mom? Like, okay, mom, stop spending time with my brother, stop spending time with my sister. If you keep doing it, I don't want to talk to you anymore, and I'm gonna end this relationship with you. Like, you are not my mother anymore. Like, imagine how crude that sounds. And that's pretty much what happens with monogamy. It causes people to do that, just with lover's side. But now I get some people are going to say, well, that's different because you don't fuck your friend, you don't fuck your mother. It's not the same thing. The level of bond is different. Like, I would say to those people that no, that's bullshit, because your mom, your mother, that is like the closest relationship you will ever have with anybody, because literally you were inside, your mother for 9 months. You were in her uterus for 9 months, inside her body for 9 months, and you straight up popped up out of her vagina when she gave birth to you. I mean, that to me is like the closest bond you could ever have with anybody. I mean, you were literally inside together with your mom for 9 months. So that's the closest bond I could ever think of with another person you could ever have. I mean, I don't know any guys that had their penis inside their girlfriend for like 9 months or anything. I don't think we've ever been inside another person, that close of a bond with somebody else for like 9 straight months. But all I'm saying is, monogamy doesn't work. It doesn't work. I mean, obviously, we can see that from the article that I just mentioned. The 57% failure rate due to cheating and missing dating. So, I mean, that's more than half. So we have a higher failure rate than a success rate. So, I mean, I don't think monogamy doesn't work. And I think instead of forcing this ideology onto people, we should give people other options. and allow people to fully express the feelings they have for a person, you know, and not be socially repressed by these old traditional ideologies that hold people back from truly expressing themselves. So, yeah, that's all I gotta say. How many times? 15 minutes. But yeah, that's all I gotta say, and I hope, you know, whatever people that are watching this, I hope, you know, any person that will watch this and take it to account and consider it, and maybe not be so hostile towards people that are developing relationships with other people that they love, and instead of allowing their hatred to manifest itself, you know, they should learn how to cope with their insecurity, learn how to cope with it, learn how to deal with it, learn how to solve it, you know, like they do when they get put in any other situation where jealousy takes hold. So that's all I gotta say. Thank you for watching, and peace.
It wasn't a case of one day waking up and saying, hey, I'm going to have multiple committed relationships. It was, you know, years of being in monogamous relationships and just feeling like something was missing, you know, not understanding why my partner would get angry if I was talking to other people and flirting with other people. Why should this be so? Why is it? Why I don't understand why you seem to think that because I'm flirting with someone else, I'm not interested in you. I've always been a fairly flirty person as it is. It's kind of my default setting is to flirt.
I never quite felt comfortable in my monogamous relationships. There was always kind of this artificial barrier that I had to put up while interacting with people that I wasn't in a relationship with, and that became quite draining, and whenever I wasn't putting energy into making sure that barrier was maintained, the monogamous relationship that I was in would suffer.
Natalie.
Hello.
Natalie, how you going? Was it a similar story for you?
No, actually mine was a little different. I had been in one major relationship. That's pretty much defined me from the time I was about 17 to just before I turned 21. And after I got out of that relationship, I found myself very lost, I've never dated before. I've never hooked up with anyone just casually. I've never had a connection with anyone outside of that relationship. And it was about 3 or 4 months before I was talking to Chris. And I honestly thought it would just be a casual experience of just flirting, making out, hooking up. Maybe this would get me back on the horse, back into some kind of dating circuit. Whereas Chris kept me around.
You just got my diaphragm. So much pain.
There you go.
They're not a triad. That would imply they lived as a throuple or 3-person couple.
My arms, I'm not...
They're a hinge relationship, where both Kitty and Natalie pivot around Chris.
We're a hinge relationship because Nat and I, we get on like a house on fire. I love you to pieces, Bambi, but we're not lovers. But we have a common lover.
And every time I try and wash cars, there's all these dishes everywhere. I look at him like, this is an angry turtle moment.
But if you think that is a recipe for relationship disaster, think again.
Because
You want a big cup of tea?
A common lover is shared in a hinge relationship, but unlike polygamy, with its religious overtones, Chris is not above the other two in this polyamorous relationship.
Well, you break it up.
I said early in the beginning, like when I wasn't quite sure how serious the relationship was, and you and I met, and you gave me a hug, and you said, I want this to be a triad. And I realised 2 things. I realised, A, this isn't just a hookup, this isn't just a fling, this is a serious relationship to you. And also, B, you want it to be me and Kitty and you. And we kind of looked at each other. No.
That's okay.
And that's okay, we sort of realised that, and I said, look, and I sort of talked to you, I said, Kitty, I really like you, but... yeah.
Have you ever heard of the term polyamory?
No. I actually haven't heard of that.
Would you happen to know at all what polyamory is?
None in the slightest.
Would you be able to have a guess?
Something dirty.
Three sounds like astrology or like some kind of
Is that
aromatherapy or some kind of shit, right?
Is that some other...
That was a joke. Man. Sorry, it's a bad joke. What does it mean? What is it?
No. What is polyamory? Polyamory? I just heard it. Yeah, now I have, yes.
What do you think it sounds like?
Polyamory? It sounds like a person's name.
If I said it was a relationship style where everyone consensually had multiple partners in multiple relationships, what would you say?
Wow, really?
I might have a peppermint.
Nice indeed.
Got enough caffeine in the system.
In this network of intimate relationships with boyfriends and girlfriends, both Natalie and Kitty are free to pursue their own equally committed relationships elsewhere.
Yes.
Robot, can you grab me a peppermint?
In fact, Chris has another lover, Selena, who isn't currently in Sydney, but who is also Kitty's other lover. They form a perfect triangle.